Hello, everyone. It's a very big audience here. I was completely impressed that we have so many people in Matosinhos Tech. I didn't know the community, but it's amazing. And honestly, it's my first time in a theater. So yeah, I think I did it when I was like 2 or 3 years old in the kindergarten, right? But it's nice. Okay. So the theme about today, and I will not present myself yet. I will tell you in a bit what I do. It's about, I bring here ETHIACH. So ETHIACH is an ethical hacking company. We do autonomous ethical hacking. We are Portuguese. The company is 3 years old, and it has been pretty much a journey. I know that you were thinking that the hacker will be here today, but I'm not a hacker myself. We have Alex for that, so Alex will be the one scaring you today. I will tell you a little bit about exactly this. There is two choices now, okay? Or you start hacking, or you get hacked, okay? Maybe you will get both, but that's the theme for today, okay? So let's talk a little bit about cybersecurity and offensive security in general, right? Basically, I want to start with the word hacker, right? When you think about a hacker, usually what you think is a guy with a hoodie, anonymous maybe. You think about Matrix, sometimes like that, right? Or you'll see like in the news every single time, a hacker, oh, this company got hacked. And we got really the worst that we could possible got in this work. But this work started in the 90s, like 1890s, in the tech, in the Silicon Valley hub, right? Like when we used to think about hackers as someone that would build something that shouldn't be built, that could create a path that should be impossible to be created. That's why we have hackathons, right? So if you think about the word, they just put it the bad out of this word. But hacker, what I would like you to think about hacker from today on, and that's is one of the mission of ETHIACH is exactly to change this concept. A hacker is someone that is creative enough to do what no one is capable of doing, okay? And just that. So hacker is a profession, is a way of thinking, a way of being, and it's not bad itself, okay? And in the world, what we have is this. Like for us at ETHIACH, we believe that there is two types of people. There is the hackers and there is the crackers. They are different. The crackers try to attack vulnerable organizations, and the hackers they are different. They try to secure organizations. So they try to find vulnerabilities so that they secure organizations. And that's exactly how I want you to see hackers from now on, okay? And the company was founded by these two people, okay? Me and Andre. I am the sales guy, okay, now. I used to be an aerospace engineer. I still am. I hacked satellites in the way that I was building satellites. I was building missions, satellite missions. And then Andre, it's one of my oldest friends, he pushed me into the world of hacking. This guy won 2 times the most valuable hacker by HackerOne. He's a university professor. Some of you have been heard about him. And yeah, so I'm not the tech guy. I'm not going to show anything else. As I told you, Alex will show you. But yeah, we decided to basically bring ETHIACH to this world just by the purpose of understanding and bringing the value of hackers to the world itself, okay? And my message to you today will be a more C-level message, more a high-level message will be this, okay? This is like offensive security hacking is the best investment you can make in 2025. So I know that we have tech people here. I know that we have people also in the C-level. We have people from everywhere. But what I want you to pass today and you to pass to other people is exactly this. You need to know about offensive security and you need to know about ethical hacking, okay? And why this is the best investment? Because of 3 reasons that we are going to see today, okay? The first one is compliance. The second one is resilience, which is a nice word for security we don't like to use the word security because no one will ever be secure. And the first thing that I want also to tell you is that any company that tries to sell you cybersecurity and tell you that you will be secure, just run away, because there is no 100% security. And then differentiation, okay? How can you use ethical hacking and offensive security to differentiate yourselves from the rest, okay? And the first one is exactly this, is compliance, okay? And the compliance word is, you'll need offensive security because you'll need to comply, okay? And we have been running away from this for a long time. We have been basically defending ourselves, buying firewalls, buying antivirus, buying password managers, buying whatever we can do, like trying to put walls in front of our digital assets. But now compliance is here. And cybersecurity is a big way of compliance. And I will not go throughout all of this, but compliance is just certification and regulation, right? We can see like the first three are regulations. So NIS2 is here, is the new directive of EROT that everyone needs to comply. So offensive security is there, you need to do testing. DORA for the financial sector is very clear on that, you need to do testing. And CRA is the Cyber Resilience Act, which is the Resilience Act, the Cybersecurity European Resilience Act, that says that all the software or hardware produced or operating in Europe needs to be secure. ETHIACH needs to do testing as well, okay? Then we have the certification. So more and more, they will make you do security. So if you are running away from cybersecurity, you will need to do it anyway. If you are not doing cybersecurity to get resilient or secure, you'll need to get compliant and certified, okay? And that's how it is, it's life. The second one is my favorite, which is exactly resilience. And the idea of this is exactly that. So it's not if you are going to get hacked, it's when you are going to get hacked, okay? You are going to get hacked. And everyone gets hacked, so let's not pretend that we can be secure. Let's face it. So why is this? Why is that? So like what we know is that right now, cyber is the new normal, right? Like cybercrime. 1 in 8 businesses suffer a cyber attack per year with more than 6-digit loss, okay? So 1 in 8, we are 100 here, so you see how many are going to get hacked this year, okay? What happens is exactly this, but why this happens, right? And I like to simplify stuff, I'm an engineer, right? Cyber risk, they make it all complex because they want to sell you stuff that you don't understand. That's normal. But cyber risk is just 3 variables. It's an equation, okay? So you have assets, you have vulnerabilities, and you have threats. Assets, like you can see this as a digital city, okay? So you have like these digital assets, you have like, it's like the physical stuff. You have buildings. Assets are the buildings. We want more buildings, or more digital assets, and more apps, more APIs, more wherever, because you want to create more business, you want to create more value to your customers. So you have buildings. Vulnerabilities are like the open windows in the buildings, okay? And then the threats are the guys out there, the crackers trying to enter in your buildings, also the hackers, because hackers also want to get in your buildings, but for different purposes, right? So assets, vulnerabilities, and threats, very easy. The problem today is that you have more assets, a lot more assets, right? Attack surfaces, the word that hackers like to call to the assets, are like very complex and dynamic. Why? They are always changing. We have fast software life cycles. We are deploying new features, new features, for new software, new assets every single day. So it's always changing. It's dynamic. We have third parties. We have SaaS. We have a lot of vendors that are connected in our infrastructures. We have IoT and OT that now even the physical assets are connected to the internet, right? We have fridges. We have even fridges. Like why do you need your fridge to be connected to the internet? I don't know, you know? They even put cameras now on TVs. Like, why do you need a camera on your TV? You don't need it. But yeah, you have this hardware that's connected to the internet, right? And then we have merger and acquisitions. We have a lot of companies that buy other companies, and they have a lot of different software and different hardware and different infrastructure and different assets. And then you have shadow IT. You have assets that you don't even know that they exist. You have IPs, you have someone that just Just someone in marketing just decided to launch a landing page without selling to IT. Or you have people just connect APIs to your infrastructure, right? You don't even know. So you don't even know all your assets. So how do you want to protect them if you don't even know, right? That's one problem, it's assets. The second is vulnerabilities. Oh, before I go to vulnerabilities, that's one thing that I wanted to show. Okay, so this is one feature that we are launching at ETHIACH. It's called Visualizer. This is the world version of it, but this allows you to see your digital assets in a more interesting way, right? And what you can see here is the attack surface of a company, a very known company here in Portugal. You see the domain there, I didn't refer to the company. And only on that domain, with only a passive reconnaissance of the attack surface, we have 2,200 assets just on one domain, exposed. Do you think that these guys know all of this? And all you see this is the connections. It's the connections that goes to the core, okay? So this is your attack surface that you need to protect. Vulnerabilities, what happens with the vulnerabilities? Vulnerabilities, you see that graph there? So that is CVEs. CVEs are common vulnerability exposures. They are the vulnerabilities that we can find in big software vendors, okay? Or big vendors, okay? We are talking about Google's, Verizon's, Amazon's, whatever. So if you find a vulnerability on ETHIACH, it's not used by millions of people, so it will not be a CV, it will just be a vulnerability. Maybe you can call it 0 day if you want, it's fancy, but it's a specific vulnerability, okay? So we have 40,000 new CVs last year. 40,000 new CVs, that's 110 new CVs per day. So if you are doing one test every year or every month, are you really protected? That's my question to you, right? So this is the amount of new vulnerabilities that are there. And when they tell me, oh, George, yeah, but I just have this, I am too small to be attacked. No one cares about me. Wrong, because what these crackers do is they just take a new CV, they get a bot, and they automatize, and now they are attacking all over the internet, all IP that they can find. So they don't even know that they're attacking you. They're just attacking. And then when they get in, they will say, oh, I got in, right? So this is a new knowledge that you need to be aware, right? And then threats. What is about threats? Threats are getting faster, they're getting more automated, more sophisticated, and completely democratized, right? What happens today is anyone can use ChatGPT or can use AI to build a bot with a CV and just attacking stuff. So I don't even know cybersecurity, and I can do this, right? And what Verizon say, not Verizon, this is Google Mandiant, sorry. What Mandiant said the first time in history, the last year, technology vulnerabilities were the main cause of data breaches, okay? 38%. So it's not more about the human phishings and the human error that we were used to, it's about tech vulnerabilities, okay? Exploits, that's what the word means, okay? Exploiting a vulnerability, okay? And if you don't believe me, like this is Verizon, so Verizon says that it's not 38%, it's 14, okay? So, okay, a little bit less, but 180% increase in 1 year, okay? From data breaches, from vulnerabilities, exploitation of vulnerabilities. And the worst thing that I want to tell you today is this. This came from Cloudflare, the new report for application security report. And what I want to show you is this. There was a CV, this one, the new CV, as I told you, that was disclosed on that date, 2023, November. In 22 minutes, Cloudflare is having attackers with this new knowledge. This is how fast you can attack today. So if you do one pen test a year, good luck. The third one is you will be required to, okay? And this is maybe something similar to the first one, okay? Compliance, but it's not. What I want, my message to you here is what we are watching today, it's the deja vu of what happened 2 years ago and 3 years ago with sustainability, okay? So what happened was everyone said, no, now we need to be sustainable. What happened then? We went to all our vendors or all our supply chain to make them sustainable. So if an enterprise wants to get sustainable, it will require every provider to be sustainable itself. Okay? And it is nice, right? Like you push the supply chain to be more sustainable. But with sustainability, if someone was lying or they were not sustainable in fact, what happened was a little bit more CO2 to the atmosphere, right? The cybersecurity is not that. Cybersecurity is, and we saw that 3 years ago with Verizon on a data breach that started with a vendor. And what happened is if one of your providers is connecting with your infrastructure and is not secure, there is a vulnerability there, you can get attacked because of him. But it's your reputation, it's your data, it's your clients, it's you that will lose, right? And so I see this as a differentiation, okay? I see it as an opportunity for you to differentiate if you are working at a startup or even if you are just providing services and technology, right? You can use this as a business enabler. If you do more testing, if you do more cybersecurity, you don't wait for them to ask you about cybersecurity, you show them. You tell them, see, I do pen testing 24/7. I do pen testing a lot. I have these cybersecurity measures in place. You show them. You differentiate yourself. Use this as your value proposition. And I think it's one opportunity that you should take advantage of, okay? But how do you invest in cybersecurity without or losing all your time and money? And we know that it's not your value. You need to, it's something that you will need to do, right? And my answer to you is be stoic. I like stoicism, right? So focus on what you can control. You cannot control assets, you need assets. You cannot control threats. We have been all these years just looking at threats, just looking, oh, let's monitor who is attacking us. Let's put another more SOC. Let's put another more EDR. Let's see who is trying to attack us. Just go for the vulnerabilities. If you test your humans, test your assets, test everything that you can, find what are the weak spots and mitigate them. It's so much better. It's so much more proactive, more preventive, right? Instead of just being monitoring what others do. And how do you focus on that? And just one step before, as you can see, I like this picture, okay? And this picture tells us all about cybersecurity in a whole. So you have offensive security on this side, and you have defensive, right? So it's like red team and blue team. So as you can see here, all the cybersecurity models, here signals, operation manager, for example, in business model of offensive security is ransom as a service. You can actually pay for people to deliver ransom, right? On defensive, you have legislation, policy, compliance, right? But everything, the core, it's exactly vulnerabilities. It's vulnerability and patching. Theoretically, if you know every vulnerability that you have, and you could patch every vulnerability that you have, you will be 100% secure. But as I told you, there is not 100% security because you will always be vulnerable, all right? But it's vulnerability is the core, so focus on it, right? And the goal is exactly this, like, if you don't want to get hacked, hack, right? Just be proactive. Just test, patch, retest it, and do it again, okay? So that's exactly that, okay? And now I will also do some selling, of course, because, no, I'm kidding. I'm just telling you what ETHIACH does, okay? What do you need to really focus on when you are doing offensive security and proactive security? These are the metrics that I usually pass. So first you need to understand how many time do you have to detect vulnerabilities that you have. Then you need to know how many time you need for remediating, patching these vulnerabilities. So if you are doing already pen testing and you have your engineers and whatever doing pen testing, just look at these metrics because you need to know this, right? the frequency of testing, because as I told you, you need to test more. One pen test, what the certification, what all the compliance will test. Okay, you need to do pen test. But if you do one, yeah, you do the check on compliance. But you don't want to do the check on compliance. You want really to be resilient. So you need to test more. You need to really care about vulnerability. So what you have more there, it's companies that will do pen testing for like even 1,000 euros. But do you really want these companies to test you? Or you really want to have the impact stuff? If you want to have the impact stuff, you need to go for the best. You need to go for the ethical hackers that are the best ones testing you, not just scanning or stuff. Then you have accuracy, so you don't want, as I showed you, you have 40,000 new vulnerabilities per year. You don't have time to patch all your vulnerabilities. You will be vulnerable a lot. What you want is, you want first, vulnerabilities that are impactful, and second, vulnerabilities that are accurate. Okay? So you don't want to be triaging all the false positives. And then you want all your assets to be tested. Okay? And at ETHIACH, what we do is exactly that. So basically, to do what we do, which is autonomous ethical hacking, we have, sorry about this, yeah, we have an automated part. So we are using automation and AI to basically be testing you continuously, 24/7. And then we have elite ethical hackers. Some of them are even here, that will go on top of the machine and will do what the machine is not still capable of doing, which is like finding the creative stuff. And then what is interesting is we are learning every time, right? So every time that the human finds a vulnerability that the machine couldn't find, if it's possible, we are trying to automate it and feeding the machine. And this allows more than continuous learning. It allows us to have a collaborative environment, which is like group immunity, because everyone is learning with each other, even without them knowing it, okay? And, okay, not this one. Why we are best than other ones? Because we do it continuously. We are always testing you, okay? We do it fast. We want to be the fastest in the market to find these vulnerabilities. As I showed you, 22 minutes from a CV, new CV, for attackers to start using it. Accuracy, we don't want you to spend time on triaging these vulnerabilities. We want to do it validation of vulnerabilities, and we want to give you really the stuff, not the best compliance practices. We want to be the ones that can hack you to the core. Basically, this is how it works. So first, we start with your domains or IPs that you give us. We find everything below, right? From subdomains, IPs, technologies, ports, which is kind of easy to automate. Then the most difficult part to automate is exactly exploitation of vulnerability. Not only detecting probability of a vulnerability exists, but also exploiting this vulnerability. That's the hardest part, okay, that we do at ETHIACH. And how are you using AI? Because every presentation is to have AI right now. We are using AI on two approaches. The first one is specific. I think Alex will show you something about that. But the idea is how can we use LLMs to hack? Not only automating tasks, but giving creativity to the bot so it can test by itself. And that will allow us to find complex vulnerabilities, even CVs, right? And then the other one is speed. We have been working with this a lot, which is every time that a new CV is published, how fast can we go from creating a new module and start hacking people, okay? The problem with AI, that's the AI that we have, artificial hacker, okay? So basically what we call it artificial hacker. So basically they are hack bots. Now in the industry, if you heard about hack bots, they are basically automated systems that use LLMs to find vulnerabilities. Our is a modular one, okay? That's why we call it artificial hackers. We have a nice reference here, which is about Joseph Tucker, one of the best in the world about that. That guy is one of our advisors. But the concerns about AI that I want to bring you here. First is AI ethics. So my question is it really ethical to do this? Can we start attacking everyone just because we can, right? And can we use AI on that? Then the rest one is replacement versus empowerment. Everyone tells you that AI will replace humans. What we believe at ETHIACH, it's not going to replace humans. It's going to replace the ones that are not the best. So what we see AI doing is allowing the best doing what they are best at, which is creativity. And AI is not creative enough. Then vulnerability burnout, because if we have a lot of vulnerabilities, we are going to burn out trying to test, to patch everything. Then rules for testing, so what can we test and cannot test? There are a lot of vendors that try, and a lot of pen testing vendors that try to basically, they will test you just because they can, and that's not legal, and it's not ethical, because you need authorization to test, right? So I cannot sell you just going after your company and say, oh, see, you are vulnerable, now pay me. No, that's not legal and shouldn't be legal, right? You should authorization to test. Then unintended system damage, we have been working a lot on that. That's why our AI is not in production yet, because it damages stuff. And then hallucinations, and you should know about hallucinations already if you are using ChatGPT. And takeaways is exactly that. It's like, so what we really think of is we can use AI and LLMs to make it scalable. What AI will allow us is to basically protect a lot of more and bring the knowledge of these best ethical hackers that we have to even the little Joe. Because let's be honest, the ones that are really being tested by elite ethical hackers right now are the big enterprises, because no one has money to pay these guys and do it very, very often, right? So we are bringing this knowledge to everyone. Then what we know is that models will, in fact, increase speed, accuracy, and depth. So be prepared, because these 22 minutes will fastly go to like seconds, okay? LLMs are also available to hackers, okay? So crackers. So be careful about that, because if you are, again, the topic of the presentation was, or you hack or you get hacked. So if you are not using it to hack yourself, you are going to get hacked by these guys. And then finding new techniques may not even be possible. I told you about this. So we see if AGI is coming or not. But for now, we know that without humans and without the best, we cannot do just what they say that they will be able to do, okay? And yeah, just to tell you a little bit about ourselves, okay? This is the sales now guy talking, but we have, in 3 years, I just wanted to tell you that we have more than 70 new customers. So for cybersecurity, for a Portuguese company, it has been quite of a journey. We couldn't do it without all the ethical hackers that we have. We did 300 just ethical hacking events with them. We test more than 15,000 assets every single day, okay, with our continuous approach, and we know more than 20,000 vulnerabilities in our system, okay? These are some customers. We test even the airports. We work with the Cybersecurity National Center. We work with some of the big telcos, retail companies in Portugal and also in other countries. And the only ones for Google for startups in cybersecurity for AI. And yeah, some awards that we have been receiving, okay? So last slide is tests, okay? But don't just test with values, okay? And how we work is exactly this, is first, if you are testing and if you are working with hackers, you need to be transparent. You need to always provide the knowledge that you have. So if you find a vulnerability, you don't hide it. You don't use it for the next pen test. You just share it and you be critic. You tell them, guys, this is critical stuff, right? It's to be ethic, because ethic is the heart of what we do, right, in ETHIACH. And when most of organizations ask me, oh, I have these guys that are not even, they are freelancers working for you, so they're not even in your company, like how I'm going to trust them? Like, because ethics. Why do you trust a lawyer? Why do you trust any type of professional? These guys are hackers, okay, but the hackers, if you want the best hackers, they need to be ethical. If they are not ethical, they will do one job and no job anymore, right? Synergy, because cybersecurity is collaborative. With us, it's like we find vulnerabilities, we test you, we don't patch vulnerabilities. So if you want to be more secure, you need to patch vulnerabilities as well. And then trust, which is what matters after all. You need to trust these people, you need to trust the hackers, because if you don't trust them, you are going to get hacked, and not by hackers, by crackers, okay? And thank you so much for listening to me. If you have my contact is there, feel free to reach me out. Thank you so much again.